Alright, so in this video we are gonna make it responsive, or sort of. We're not gonna create the token navigation thing because it's taking too long, and this is not really how to create a responsive navigation bar tutorial. This is a really long series, so we're only gonna focus on some parts that will just make it a bit responsive, and then as a challenge for you, the rest is for you to figure out how to create the token navigation and so on. And sorry about that, I'll just turn notifications off. So what we can do now, we can go in here and create a style. So if you go in and create a style, you can actually with VueJS go in and create a style with SAS, for example. And then we want to create one media query here, which is media screen and minimum width of 760 pixels. Now you could go in and use even more media queries to make this even more responsive. But what we want to do here is we want to actually create a class called menu right. And because this is already used, the float function, we need to override it. Which again, you might be able to find a better approach for this. And then we also want to add in here that in the scenario that L menu item and let's also put it in here, is font size 15 pixels when it's over 760 pixels, and when it's under it will be font size 12 pixels. So what we're basically doing now is we are targeting the link in here and putting in a font size depending on how big the screen is, to let it all fit on one line instead of having to go split. And then we also put in the float right here. So we want to do this by going and say class menu right, and just going and add the same here. So now again I want PHP artisan serve, and of course also npm1 watch. You will see if you go in and refresh here that we have a font size of 15 pixels. These are on the right here, but if we return it here, because there's so little spacing anyways, so we can just zoom in here, you can see obviously there is a small issue here. But if you zoom in here and you for example go on a pixel 2, zoom in a bit more again, obviously you will see there's a bit of a difference here. Like this item here is basically, if we go in and say font size here, font size 12, but all of these here are, they look to be aligned. I think this is a minor issue, so this should be okay. If you want to dig deeper into it, you can do that. I think this is a very small issue, like pixel perfect issue, which is not really anything I would go into now, because this is again not a responsive design tutorial. This is me creating a social network. So enough with that. We now actually have something here that should be completely functional. So obviously we don't want to have those links, and we're going to address that later on, but so far this is actually all for the navigation. So we can just go in and put a hash here, and then later on we will focus on how to create routes, which is the next step in this process here. So in the next tutorial we want to create functional routes. So the router view, so basically we can actually put this in like this. We want to have the router view in here, and next video is going to be a bit longer. And then we also want to create the route file, the main route file in here, and then we will create some route files inside this page just every time we create a new page, and that will be the way we sort it. So basically every folder in here will have a route file. inside the pages here. So all of these will have a route file, as you can see here. And that's how we're gonna solve this issue. So everything in the component file, on the other hand, will not have anything because we're not gonna need it. So we might have Vuex because sometimes some of the components need to have Vuex, so we can reuse the components as well. But so far this is actually gonna be all for the navigation video, and this is gonna be all for this video. So in the next video we are gonna focus purely on creating the route system and set that up. We are not gonna create any routes beside one just to test it out in one of the folders, but beside that we're not gonna have any, we're not gonna create all routes because those routes might change on the way, so therefore we just create it as we go. So we just create the system. So hit the like button if you liked the video, click the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video.